Major funding for this Read 180 workshop is provided by the National Science Foundation, America's investment in the future.
Intel Corporation is a proud supporter of PBS. The Intel Innovation in Education Initiative provides teachers with the resources to inspire their students and encourage them to unlock their potential.
At Jif Peanut Butter, we know just how choosy you are when it comes to your family, including the shows you value most. Public television encourages kids' curiosity and love of learning, and Jif is proud to support Cyberchase on behalf of all choosy moms and dads.
And by a ready-to-learn television cooperative agreement from the U.S. Department of Education through the Public Broadcasting Service.
And by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. This program was also made possible by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Welcome to Workshop 5, Secrets of the Mummy's Tomb. The ancient Egyptians lived thousands of years ago. To them, life was important, but death was very important too. They believed that after you died, there was an afterlife, and everyone would need a lot of stuff in that afterlife. Art, furniture, and of course, they believed you'd also need your body. The Egyptians went to a lot of trouble to get their kings ready for this afterlife. They'd turn the king's bodies into mummies and bury them. One of the most famous mummies is that of the 9-year-old boy, King Tutankhamun. He ruled only a few years, and his death is still a mystery after 3,000 years. You'll read how mummies are made, and where many of those mummies were buried. The video story will introduce you to Sonia Guillet, a modern-day mummy hunter. She travels all over the world for her job. You'll follow her as she searches for the mummies of the Chachapoyas. Reading 1, King Tut's Tomb. Thousands of years ago, Egypt was a very powerful country in Africa. One of their most famous kings, or pharaohs as they were called, was a 9-year-old boy named Tutankhamun. Today, we call him Tut. When Tut died, like most kings, he was placed in a tomb, a place usually underground where dead bodies are buried. In Tut's day, when kings died, their bodies were made into mummies to keep their flesh from rotting away, and buried with gold, silver, furniture, and jewels. Over the years, grave robbers dug up many of these tombs and took all the treasures, but not Tut's. People looked for it for centuries, but no one found it, until about 80 years ago. In this encyclopedia article, you'll read about the man who found Tut's tomb. Reading 2, The Gory Art of Mummy Making. Back in King Tut's day, Egyptians believed that after you died, there was an afterlife. And at that point, you'd need all sorts of stuff. Furniture, plates, and of course, your body. The furniture would be okay over time, but how would you keep that body from rotting? The Egyptians figured out how to turn bodies into mummies. And they were so good at it that now, thousands of years after they were made, those mummies still look pretty good. How did they do it? You'll find out in this magazine article. Reading 3, Ancient Egypt, Unlocking the Past. In ancient Egypt, most people lived around the Nile River. That's where the farming was good, and that's where the kings built their pyramids. In fact, there are still 35 of these pyramids standing. In these pyramids, kings placed everything they need for the afterlife. Their mummies were also placed inside. These pyramids are huge. How did the ancient Egyptians manage to build them without modern construction equipment and concrete? This social studies text shows you how you can build a pyramid. If you have the time. A very long time. not all mummies are found in Egypt. Archaeologist Sonia Guillen found the mummies of the Chachapoyas in the mountains of Peru in South America. Why are their mouths open? You are about to find out. And keep your eyes wide open. Mummies Unwrapped.
Archaeologist Dr. Sonia Guillen never knows where her job may lead or what she'll find there. This time, it takes her to a tiny spot in the mountains of Peru, to a world that almost disappeared without a trace. Except for the mummies. Mummies are Sonia's specialty. On this expedition, she's recovering the remains of 219 Chachapoyas, an ancient people that lived here 1,000 years ago. Men, women, even babies have been embalmed for centuries in the tombs over these cliffs. Most of these mummies were damaged by looters looking for gold.
Oh, Sonia, here comes an arm.
The team takes them out of harm's way so they can be stored in a museum. But first, Sonia will search for clues about how these people lived and died. Back at the lab, she creates diagrams, measurements, photographs, and x-rays.
You're looking for every single detail.
Right down to the last whiff. Unraveling a mummy can take days. The cloth is a valuable artifact, so it has to be handled carefully. Sonia's unwrapped more than 300 mummies, but there are always surprises. This one contains part of a necklace and a swatch of hair. This one had great teeth.
No cavities.
This one has amazingly well-preserved skin.
You can even trace the lines in his forehead that he had when he was alive.
We'll never know all the secrets of the Chachapoyas or why they were buried this way. Sonia thinks their mouths were left open to let spirits in and out. But it's just one possible theory. Now, if only they could talk.